That $27,000, if I for 1 year just put all that in the S&P 500 or put that in investments, guess how much money that would be? The number is very shocking. Folks, it has been 10 years since I graduated from college. That is crazy to think about. I knew this day was coming, but it's been around 10 years since I left my university, the University of Missouri. And we're going to talk about whether I would do it all over again if I could go back in time. Will I go back to college? Was college worth the money? Was college worth the time? Was college a good experience for me? So, 10 years after graduation, how do I feel about college? So, right off the jump, I will do it again just because I want to end up where I am right now. I like my life right now, and I believe you have to do the things in the past to be where you are right now. Each subsequent event brings you to where you are right now. So that's why I would do it again. The people that I've met in college, still great friends today. The people I met after college, I met them because my path brought me to where I am right now. So I wouldn't want to change that. But as far as if we're talking about career and making a life outside of high school, I would definitely not do college just because based off of what I am interested in and what I wanted to do or want to do. So we'll talk about what I would do instead of going to college. So if I were continuing the dream of wanting to, own something in the food industry, I would go straight to a restaurant, start learning under them and just working and making money actually and learning how to cook and how to manage a restaurant. That's what I would do. Knowing now that I kind of want to transition away from the stress of like the demand of cooking to order, I would do a different path. But ultimately, I do love food. So if I were to do something different, maybe I would be like a caterer or like create a product that I could sell to different restaurants for them to sell to the guests. Let's say I can make a frozen egg sandwich that reheats really well, is quality. Would market that to different restaurants and coffee shops. That's the direction I would probably want to go down. But the actual path that I would probably do, I would actually try to get on with UPS or like a local transit agency right away because those jobs actually pay really well and a college degree is not necessary. Uh, After you're with UPS, a UPS driver, whenever you can get to the driving ranks, the top out pay is after 5 years. Same with most transit agencies, or at least my local transit agency, it's 5 years to reach the top pay. And what I would do is to keep my expenses low and put as much money in the market as I can so I could, let's say, be able to retire by the age of 40 or before. There has been some videos talking about like the UPS driver versus a doctor, where the UPS driver is ahead for years and years and years because of the debt that the doctor goes through. And then after the doctor has graduated school, then they slowly start to meet the UPS driver, and it's not like years down the line when the doctor actually meets the UPS driver. And they also did a comparison if the UPS driver worked the doctor's hours because the doctor is there more than 40 hours a week usually and a lot of extra time, that UPS driver is ahead financially for a very long time. Of course, if you got scholarships for your education, that definitely helps out a lot. But I would make money as fast as possible, put it in the market to be able to leave the workforce as soon as possible. And I look back at how much money I spent on my college education. I personally had like $27,000 of student loans in my name, and I was actually able to pay that off in 1 year. Actually, 1 year and 1 day. I have a video right here about how I was able to do that. And my mom had about $60,000 in Parent Plus loans. But if we looked at my time value of money, That $27,000, if I for one year just put all that in the S&P 500 or put that in investments, guess how much money that would be by the time I was 65? Put that in the comment how much money you think $27,000 would turn into from age 24 to age 65. The number is very shocking. This is coming from the wealth multiplier from the Money Guy shows. This is what the methodology is. But I'm going to read this number to you, and I would love to have this number, but I know I'm going to have more than this by the time I'm 65. But that number is I would have $1,361,340, and that is a great sum of money. Um, I'm on my way to be able to retire early, and I believe by 65 I will have more than that. And of course, I would have more than that if I started back in 24 and every year been able to pay off or pay into my investments. If I had the money in investments and just paid the minimum, my student loans, I've had $27,000 here, $27,000 here, my investments would increase more than the student loans would increase. The student loans are increasing, but the market is much more stronger than the interest rate for those student loans. But nonetheless, getting out of debt is very smart thing to do. I was following the Dave Ramsey approach, and they said you should never be mad at paying off debt. I'm just mad that it could be more money, but ultimately I know that I will have more than that number by the time I'm 65. But if we do the math, if I start at 24, it'll be way more. So um, what I actually did enjoy about college was definitely the people that I met. I have some really good friends that I still stay in touch with. Me being able to travel, fly for free, I'm able to see my friends pretty often, which is great. Um, Also, I feel like I developed more as a person in college. I grew up in a predominantly white suburb in Ohio, and when I went off to school, I kind of started hanging out with more people that look like me, and I'm really appreciative of that. And I've been able to get closer to my roots and to understand a lot of the history and impact that. A lot of the things that we live through being people of color. So that is very important to me, and I'm glad that I was able to meet a lot of great friends and to be in those spaces during college. Of course, I had a very good time. I enjoyed myself. They say college is a fun time. I definitely had too much fun, so that was a great part. And my degree is actually something that's relevant to what I'm doing. As far as me owning the food truck, hospitality management emphasis and food and beverage is directly correlated to that. But you do not need that degree to be an entrepreneur or to be a chef or anything like that. I do have a minor in business, but that's just fluff. My main occupation, I don't need a college degree. And if I didn't go to college, would I be down the path to be working in the aviation industry? I don't know. I'm happy I'm in this industry. It is a golden handcuff. Like I know entrepreneurship has a higher ceiling, but more work to get there. But I'm happy with my main job right now, and it does have the potential to earn a lot of money depending upon how much I want to work, or I cannot work at all, which is very great. I am engaged. Like I said, the path behind me led me to be with my lady, and I'm happy that I met her. That's because I chose to go to college and I went down this path. And I was a saver back in high school. I wasn't an investor until college, I do believe. I did some reselling in high school, but I didn't start investing my money until I was in college. My mom recommended a book to me when I was in college. Would she have recommended me that book if I was, who knows where I would be living if I just went to work right after high school? But one of my friends recommended me Acorns, which is an investing app. So would I be this heavy into investing if I did not go to college? Who knows? Hopefully, yes. But nonetheless, I went to college and I'm here. living a fun life, a good life. I'm in London right now. And would I be in London right now on a random Saturday for work if I didn't go to college? Who knows? Maybe I would be somewhere else. But 10 years after college, I wouldn't really do it again. I would only do it because I want to be in the place where I am right now. College is for some people, depending upon what you want to do. You can get into engineering with like some certificates or whatnot, but there's a lot of professions like a doctor, lawyer, where you need to learn specific information. And the networking is pretty important as far as being a lawyer and some of these other professions. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to, I feel like accounting, I feel like if you can get into the space somehow, internships, the University of Life or whatever they call it, the University of Hard Knocks. I feel like you can get into some of these like project manager positions and other maybe finance stuff if you just learn math and actually do the work. But college is there for some people, is needed for some people. Look up what you ultimately want to do in life and actually do the research to see if a university is what you actually need. And ultimately, you should shadow people in the position you think you want to be in because 10 years down the line, you doing that job, you might not like it. And even in the beginning, after you get your degree, not you might not like what you think you want to do. So shadow people, watch YouTube videos about people who do it, and imagine your life doing that job and write down the pros and cons of that job and figure out whether you need college or not. So 10 years out of college. I'm 32 years old. Life is good. I did go to college. I have a degree. But honestly, it's not for me. And when I have kids, I will have them make their own decision, tell them the pros and cons, maybe recommend a gap year, but ultimately they can do whatever they want to do. And I hope to have the money to send them to school. Of course, they're going to have to pay some of it, but hope to have some money for them to get an education or a leg up in this world. But this is your boy, Nicholas. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, y'all. Peace out.